What is a red flag that is way too common in dating? The inability to apologize for anything ever. Finding out what your weaknesses/fears are and using them to manipulate the relationship. Tepid interest. This sounds so obvious, but I think everyone has gone on way too many dates, or generally let things go too far with someone you felt just wasn't really all into it, really. Life is too short to have dates that aren't really interested in you. I know people who have had whole relationships like this. It can go on for months or even years with the other person. The non-tepid one, basically maintaining the relationship and doing all the work, waiting the other person to come around. He just not that into you, while cliché is so very true. I wish people took it more seriously. I had a friend who constantly chased guys who, honestly, just weren't that into her. They'd get together with her for sex if it was convenient for them, but there was nothing even remotely resembling a relationship to anyone but her. I had to have several talks to her about realizing that if someone is really, truly interested in getting to know you better, they will make you a priority, they will find the time to spend with you, and they'll make the effort to have a relationship. If they're always too busy, or too stressed, or not ready for a relationship, move on. Don't waste your time and effort and open yourself up for heartbreak. Testing, or whatever it's called. Manipulative. I just wanted to see how you'd react. Debauchery. Those fucking videos of people pranking their SO telling them they cheated on them, and then laughing at their devastated reaction. That's an instant breakup if anybody did that to me. I had my first real relationship a couple months ago at the ripe age of 26. This is basically how it ended. Thankfully, she was more mature than I am, and she was able to recognize that she wasn't that into me. I mean, it hurts, but I vastly prefer finding out in a month to finding out 2 years from now. I still highly respect her for that. Double standards. You can do whatever you want all you want, but if I do the exact same thing, all hell breaks loose. People begging for a solid, eccentric and spontaneous relationship but doing nothing to stimulate that. They just sit and wait for the other person to do all the legwork and claim the partner is boring when they eventually stop trying due to the one-sided nature. People wanting the relationship to happen to them, instead of finding someone whom they want to build one with. I had a girl break up with me because, in her words, I was taking her for granted. Wait a minute, I took you for granted? I called you every Wednesday to ask you out for Saturday, I drove from the South Shore of Long Island to Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, picked you up, was never late. Took you out to really nice places you never even knew existed, brought you home, and not once did you ever have to put your hand in your pocket for anything, and I took you for granted? And she said yes. So I lost that argument. People wanting the relationship to happen to them, instead of finding someone. Well, this hits close to home. The relationship was pretty much good for the most part for 3 years, but left a sour taste in my mouth. It was like trying to host a part for 3 years straight. Grass is always greener and you're bored. Moved to Hawaii for 6 months, she hated it. Constant offers and suggestions to go to parties, go hiking, go on a boat ride and catch a fish bigger than you, or just go see whales and wander the woods if you want to be lazy. Always rejected. We went on helicopters in Hawaii and got charged by a fucking bear in Alaska. Drag shows, concerts, camping if I could drag her out. Nothing wrong with going to a movie or a Cirque du Soleil, nor eating at a nice new restaurant. Probably more adventure than most people experience in a decade. 3-month road trip was the end of the line. Her big complaint was that we never did anything, get fucked and grow a personality. You come up with something for once. And yes, sometimes it isn't exciting. Life isn't always a fucking pharmaceutical commercial that they want to build one with. They agree to meet up with you, and even say yes, when you send a "Hey, are we still on for today?" text. Then, when you get to wherever you'd agreed to meet up, they don't show up. Like, okay, I get it. You found someone you connect with better. You've been dating casually, and you decided whoever you went out with last night is the one. You got called in to work last minute. Your brother tried it at home, and now you have to take his dumb ass to the emergency room. You were hoping someone hotter and thinner would come along. Your horoscope said to stay home. You're not over your ex yet. You're holding out for a celebrity or fictional character. You got sick. Whatever it is, I get it. Life happens. Hell, I've probably been there, but fucking tell me you aren't coming. I took time out of my day to meet with you, I didn't have to do that. Standing someone up without so much as a text is just rude. When they flip out if you don't answer every text within seconds. When they flip out if you don't answer every text within seconds. Or they flip out if you are busy with work or occasionally doing something that's not for them. Or you occasionally talk to your family or your friends. That's a sign of someone that thinks you are a possession and your time is invaluable. It's also one of the signs of a narcissist. That's a sign of someone that thinks you are a possession and your time is invaluable. It's also one of the signs of a narcissist.